So now we're going to be making a matcha mochi brownie with white chocolate chips, and it's really chewy, really good, and crispy on the edges, and one of my favorite recipes. So we're going to start with the dry ingredients. We have 3 cups of mochiko here, so we're going to mix that in. We have a half teaspoon of salt, and we have 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and a nice generous 2 tablespoons or 2.5 tablespoons of matcha. You want to use a good quality of culinary grade matcha. You don't have to use ceremonial grade, but a nice quality culinary grade made in Japan is best because they are really good at making matcha there, good quality matcha. So we're going to give that a stir with the whisk. We just want to make sure all the matcha lumps get kind of broken down so that we won't see matcha chunks in the batter. All right. I'm gonna set that aside and we're gonna get our other bowl for the wet ingredients. So we're gonna be adding in 2 eggs here. I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of butter and a 1/2 cup of oil. Vegetable oil or canola oil works well. I'm gonna give that a whisk. And we're going to also add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix that in. 2.5 cups of milk. And we're gonna add in 2 cups of sugar. So now we're going to add in the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. So just going to pour this in here. Right. Gonna get those last bits of sugar in there. And we're going to give this a nice mix. Alright, now the final step is folding in our chocolate chips. So we have 1 cup of white chocolate chips. I like to use the Ghirardelli brand. Works really well. Just gonna fold that in. Then we're gonna pour this into a 9 by 13 inch pan. So I put parchment on the bottom to prevent sticking. I'm gonna spray the sides as well. So we're going to pour that right in. Looks like the chocolate chips have to be spread out a little bit, so I'm going to do that right now. We're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 50 to 60 minutes. What you're looking for is a light golden color and crispiness on the top of the brownie. And it'll be done. Alright, so our matcha mochi brownie is out of the oven. And as you can see, it's got a little brown and crispy on top. I'm going to poke it. And it comes out clean, so that's when you know it's ready. We're going to let this cool down until room temperature, and then we're going to cut it into pieces. Alright, so now we're going to be cutting it into bars. Just like so. I'm going to dust it with some culinary matcha powder. Gives it a nice look at the very end if you want to. You don't have to. You don't have to dust it with matcha. And that right there is our mochi white chocolate chip brownie. You can see the cross section. It's really mochi-like in the middle. You can eat it warm or you can eat it at room temperature the next day. This will keep for about 2 days at room temperature.